All right, I think we're live. Let's just make sure we've got the feed, we've got the signal. Hey everybody, it's Ren Carothers with your Future Stars Friday forecast. I hope you're doing well. We are just a week away from the Breeders' Cup and Future Stars Friday. And I have on the phone, we're going to experiment with something. I've never done a phone call on this show before. So what we're basically doing is I have one phone that's controlling this feed. I have one phone with my special guest on the line. Hopefully his voice carries over fine from one phone to the other. And that is Jason Loutsch of Albaugh Family Stable. And he has Dennis's Moment going to the TVG Juvenile. How you doing, Jason?
Great. Thanks for having me on tonight. I'm excited.
Well, yeah, you should be excited. So Dennis's Moment just today, oh my gosh, he put in an incredible work over the Santa Anita track. He went 4 furlongs in 46 and 6100, so 46 and 3. What did you think of that?
Going in today, it was, this is our last big hurdle before the race, so a lot of anxiety going into the work, just making sure he did what we thought he could do, and the first time that he was actually working on the track, so it was a really big day for us, and he answered all the questions. Just did awesome over the track, had a great word, galloped out strong, came back sound, and now it's the hard lifting's over, and now we get to relax for about 6 days until next Friday, and enjoy this. This is rare for a lot of people, and so we're just going to enjoy this next week and really soak it in. And this is a fun experience. This is what we're in the game for, so we just can't wait to get to California and enjoy this.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you want to enjoy it, but there's, I remember a quote from Penny Chenery when she was talking about Secretariat and the whole Triple Crown crucible. I mean, you had all the press coming after you, wanting interviews, and as exciting as it was to be part of everything, she said that it was something she wouldn't want to go through again in terms of just the crush of questions and everything, but how do you handle that? I mean, is it just basically you just roll with it?
Yeah, I guess the way I look at it is we're excited that the press is calling us because we've been on the other side where they don't care about you. You're not a favorite or one of the horses that they're interested in. So I guess if they're talking about you and your horse is doing good, that's a good sign. And
definitely,
we feel like we got a great shot, and he's doing. He couldn't be doing any better. So the more interviews we do, I guess the more people think he's doing great. We got a great shot.
Do you feel there's a bit of an ambassadorship that comes along with having a great horse like this?
Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt about it, we do. So.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the climate these days, it's nice to have people who are there who can, share the horse, share the love, let people, basically find a connection to these stars. When we have more accessibility to our athletes, we form a better connection to them. And so you've got a great guy, very outspoken, in Dale Romans as your trainer.
Absolutely. He's the best.
And it's great too, because I love the consistency that you guys teamed up with Dale have had. In 2015, you had your first Grade 1 winner, Brody's Cause. He won the Claiborne Futurity, or the Breeders' Futurity, and then went on to run third in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. And then the following year, you had Not This Time, who, like Dennis's Moment, won the Iroquois and went on to run second, just by a neck, to Classic Empire in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. So you've kind of been on this trail before. What do you feel about it this time?
We've gained a lot of experience from our past, and try to, always tweaking things in our system and maybe how we do things. But really, Dale's he's our coach, and he really doesn't change the way he does things. And since we've been with Dale, it's kind of routine. But he's such a knowledge of horses, and so really, we're just trying to keep this horse as happy and as healthy as possible. I think the talent's there. Shipping out to California, obviously, is a challenge. Going to a different track for a 2-year-old, but that's the reason we got here 10 days early.
Yeah.
Got to work on the track. We're trying to take every option that we can to give him the best chance so he can win next Friday.
Well, let's talk about the track for a minute. I mean, we have been talking about, since the track had opened up back for training and whatnot, and the meet, how there had been slower times over it. For example, with the Chandelier and the American Pharaoh, we saw 8 Rings, who you'll be going up against, run 2 seconds and 2/5 faster than the fillies did for the half. But now, I mean, today, again, your horse worked the 46 and 3 over it. Do you think the track has been sped up, or do you think it's a
Yeah, I think it has probably, the more action you get on the track, it tightens up probably a little bit.
The heat.
Get more water on the track. And so, I know the first question I asked Tammy Fox was when I got off the track the first day, I said, how deep is it? I mean, because I've talked to Bob a few times, Baffert a few times, and he said it's really, really deep. And so, that was the reason for us getting out there early. We need to get on that track, and even if it's tiring, we need to get it worked on it. And so we didn't want to have any excuses, but she thought it was a very fair track. She thinks that it's very good. She's really confident on how he's traveling over it. So no excuses on our side of how the track's doing. I mean, it's fair. We all have to run on it. It's fair for everyone.
Well, that's the thing. I watched the work, and he just looked pleased as punch with himself. I mean, he looked well within himself. And as fast as the work was, it didn't look that fast. And that's what you want to see. You don't want to see a horse exerting the effort. And he just looked happy out there.
And the thing that made me most excited about the work is he wanted to keep going. He was kind of mad at Tammy on the backside. He could, when she was trying to pull him up, and he was kind of bucking a little bit. He wanted to do more today, and I think that's the sign of a good horse when they want to do more and more after their work. And he couldn't even blow out a match. Really, he wasn't really tired at all after the work. And going on that track, I was concerned, that maybe it would be tiring for him. So.
Yeah.
All indications are that he liked the track. Things can change in a week on the track, but I feel confident going in that that's not going to be an excuse for us.
No. I mean, it's nice that you got to see him and, like you said, put in this work ahead of it, happy. And the other thing is as big as he is, because he looks like a big horse. Have you stuck him? Like, do you know what the actual height is?
I don't. I have not. I could ask Dale, but he's a big. He's a Tiz now. When we bought him as a yearling, that's why we loved him so much. He's a big, athletic-looking colt.
Yeah, Tiz now is 16. Tiz now is 16.3, right?
Yeah.
And so, but like that's the thing. I mean, you kind of want to wonder. It was interesting to me watching the work. As big as he is, he looked like he was sort of just on top of the surface. It never looked like he got mired down in it or anything like that.
Well, that's what Dale said. He was just floating over it.
Yeah,
so that was really exciting for us. And I didn't sleep real well last night just thinking about it. Because you really don't know how they're going to react to it. I mean, it's the first time they're going to work on it, and this is such a big race for us and our team, and so it was just really rewarding to see that he didn't have any problems. And I think the track's very fair, and I've been watching the races today, and it seems like it's going to be a great championship.
And it's awesome too because this horse looks to carry his track wherever he goes. He works fast wherever he is.
It's scary. Yeah. It doesn't look like he's. It's amazing because I'll look down at my watch and when I'm timing him, it's like, God, he looks like he's not even moving hardly. And he's, I'll say 59. I'm like, wow, it just blows me away sometimes because it doesn't. His motion's so nice and he does it so easy and he's not. It makes it look really nice.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so let's take it back. You purchased him, as you said, as a yearling for $400,000. So you obviously liked him a lot. He's a son of Tiz Now. Tiz Now, of course, is a Hall of Famer. He won the Breeders' Cup Classic in 2000, 2001. And he's also sired Breeders' Cup champions in Folklore, who won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies in 2005, as well as he also is, my gosh, I know who this is. Oh, Taurus. How can I forget Taurus? Taurus won the Breeders' Cup Mile in record time, 1:31 and 71 100ths. So you already have that there. And then Dennis's Moment is out of a mare by Elusive Quality, and he himself was a very fast horse on turf. But he's also sired Breeders' Cup winners. He sired, most notably, Raven's Pass, who won the Classic in 2008. And Merrifield, who won the filly and mare sprint the year prior to that. So you've got that Breeders' Cup ped cred there already. But when you saw him, obviously, for $400,000, he must have just looked the part.
We've been going to sales for 8 or 10 years now, and it's just we've always wanted a Tiz Now. We couldn't find the right one, or we couldn't afford the right one, and so this one came out of the stall, and I'm like, wow, he's athletic. Just what we're looking for, and we got his cardio. We do a lot of cardio work for him, and the cardio score was phenomenal. I'm like, wow, this is checking all the boxes here. So let's hopefully he falls into where we like to buy horses at price range, and thankfully my father-in-law trusted us and gave us the green light. And so we were nearing our ending of the bidding process with him. So it was we had one or two more knocks that we were going to go, but it was very thankful we got him, and checked all the boxes, and we couldn't be more happy, when he got to the farm, and Barry Berkelheimer at Cadabra Farms down in Ocala broke him and gave me some indication earlier this spring that he could be special, and that's when I decided to name him after my father-in-law. So it's just been a fun process, and I just hope it continues for another year.
So, well, there was so much hype about him when he debuted. I remember I was sitting in front of the TV watching TVG, and I remember them talking about the fact that, how low his odds were for this first-time starter, and that there was, a buzz about him. And then, of course, unfortunately, he lost the rider. $400,000. Obviously, already you've got that investment on top of the training investment, on top of the fact you just love your horse. We love our horses. So you see poor Robbie Alvarado come off. What's going through your mind?
I tell you what, I don't think I took a breath for about 10 seconds. It was just sickening because you're literally, the horse almost went down. It was scary, and I knew how talented this horse was and what Dale thought of him, and it was just a really unfortunate circumstance. But man, we were so thankful when he got back to the barn and we checked him out and everything was fine.
Yeah.
But from that race to the time he broke his maiden, it was a long 3 or 4 weeks because we knew he had so much talent, but we wanted to show it off and hopefully.
Did you expect a 19 and a quarter length exhibition?
I was wanting to get the 8-1 morning line odds. That's what I was wanting.
Oh my gosh! No way did you get that.
That flash was 3-5. I'm like, God, there was no secret racing game.
No, that was insane. And he got a 97 buyer for the effort, the highest of any juvenile in the season. So now, obviously, you've got all this expectation going into the Iroquois and going against winners. So what were your thoughts there?
I was listening to your husband on TV before the race.
I'm glad somebody does. No, I'm joking.
He made a great point. He made a great point. He said, this horse is going to do something spectacular, or he's going to finish mid-pack. And that's exactly what my thoughts were. You don't know how good your horse is going around 2 turns until they do it for the first time, right?
No, exactly.
So he was going to win convincingly or impressively, or he was going to probably finish mid-pack, and the expectations were down the tube. So it was very nerve-wracking, to be honest. You really don't know a 2-year-old going 2 turns first time, graded stakes, against winners. Right. There's a lot of things going through my mind, but man, he just did everything right. I just trusted Dale and what he was telling me, and we had one of the best jockeys in the world on him, and I just knew if he rode like rode the race like he was training, I had tremendous confidence in our team.
Yeah.
I know he got clear, and the fractions were good fractions, and I just knew that they wouldn't catch him if he got clear, and he got he's got a little bit on the outside, so we wouldn't get blocked in, and it was just perfect. And I was so happy to see him run like we thought he could.
Was it
the stage for?
Oh yeah. Was it always the plan to see if he had another dimension and was able to rate?
Yeah, we thought there was a lot. That's the first time that a lot of those horses that are going 2 turns are all coming out of sprints.
Yes.
And so we thought, there's probably going to be some speed in this race. I thought we weren't overconfident, but we thought one of the ways that we could get beat is if we got in a speed duel.
All right.
So we said, let's just sit back, let the speed go. Stay within range of them, obviously, but don't go out 22 and 45. Just burn yourself up. Let's just stay close, and thankfully, Irad, that guy's phenomenal.
Yes.
So he ran a great race, and couldn't be more happy to have him on the back of the horse. And so did everything like we asked. The plane came together, and off to the Breeders' Cup we go.
That's so exciting. It really is. And so for that effort, he got a 90 buyer. The margin of victory was a length and 3/4, but take in mind it could have been more because he was geared down at the end.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. And a couple of the people that were with us, I said, look at the screen on this replay, and look at the jockey, look at that screen, and just look where those horses are.
Yeah. And
it was amazing to see Irad look at that screen, knew that he had the horse that was leading by 6, and he just geared him down. 1 by length and 3/4. That's how special that guy is riding those horses. He's just so good.
He's got that clock in his head.
He saved so much in the tank going into this next race. That's what we're excited about. So we knew we could have won by 5 or 6 probably, but that wasn't. The goal was to win the race and save some in the tank for the next one.
Right on. And so we were talking about the fact in the Iroquois that you wanted to let him just relax, not get caught up in a speed duel. Now you have another horse in 8 Rings who has the ability to go. But you don't want to get disconnected, and we don't know necessarily if he is going to go to the front. I know that they put the blinkers on him last out for the American Pharaoh. But if he does go, obviously you don't want to lose, too much ground with this horse. How do you find the happy medium?
Yeah, it's a lot's going to be dictate in the post draw on Monday night. I think that ideally we would like to see us draw on the outside of 8 rings. I think there's no doubt that Bob's going to send that horse like he did the last race would be my guess. I've done a little analysis on the race, not a whole bunch yet, just because I don't know fully who's all going to be in the race yet until probably Monday. But it's going to be 8 to 12 horses. So I don't think there's an awful lot of horses that are on the front end of this race, right? The way it looks right now, other than 8 rings.
Agreed.
I think that we will be close to the pace. I don't want to be on the pace necessarily, but I think he's such a smart horse. I think he'll do whatever I'd ask him to do. And if 8 rings elects not to go to the lead, we might be on the lead. If he goes out like he did last race, I think we'll just sit off him a couple lengths, and we want to get the first run, because I know there's some really, really quality horses.
Like Maxfield.
Maxfield, the horse that we beat in the Iroquois, is very, very good.
Scabbard, yeah.
Scabbard, and so on. And then, the horse that's coming from California, American Theorem, I think it is. It's just quality field. This is the World Championships for a reason. It's a great one. Santa Anita, it just can't ask for being involved in something any better than this.
Well, I might be biased, and don't get me wrong, all the races are going to be exciting, but the TVG Juvenile is the race I'm looking most forward to.
Me too.
I know, right? I know. Go figure. But that's the thing. Not only do we have the expectation of a great horse race within the TVG Juvenile, but these are the stars of tomorrow. This is what the whole card's about. It's showcasing the horses who are going to write the next chapter of racing. These are the horses who have the pedigrees and hopefully the talent to go forward onto the Derby trail. We should mention, when you won the Iroquois, you also got 10 points toward the Kentucky Derby. You have a pedigree that no doubt can get 1.25 miles. So that's all very exciting. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but it's fun to hope.
Yeah, we try to take fuss. We take one race at a time, but definitely in the back of my mind after this race, our focus will be on one thing, and it'll be determining our path to get to that first Saturday in May. No doubt about it. We know that as he gets older and the distances get farther, he could get better. So being on by Tiz now, so there's no doubt about it. We're all focused on the Breeders' Cup, but once that race ends on Saturday, we'll start trying to map out a plan for to try to find a way to get to that first Saturday in May at Kentucky at Churchill.
Well, that's what's so fascinating too. I think about our top 2 horses in the Juvenile, your horse and 8 Rings. You both have pedigrees that obviously can get a distance, with 8 Rings being by Empire Maker. And these are both pedigrees that usually you're going to wait to see a horse go out and blaze along, and be really good at 3 and as they get more seasoned. Both of you come out, you crush at 2 years old. And your pedigree suggests you're only going to get better with distance and better with age. So that's really, really exciting to see.
Yeah, that's what I know. Dale talked to some people at Windstar, and we were talking about Tiz Nows, and I go, we've had some great Tiz Now colts, but I don't know that we've ever had a Tiz Now 2 that's doing what Dennis has done. So that's exciting to hear that.
Yes.
Tiz Now's obviously one of the greatest stallions in our generation, and so I have 2-time, like you said, champion, and
yes.
So I have so much respect for Tiz Now, and to be one of his best 2-year-olds maybe of all time is saying something to us, and that's that we don't take that lightly. It's a big honor, and hopefully we can bring home 2-year-old champion next week. It's all on the line.
I love it. So you mentioned how you always wanted a Tiz Now. Was it specific to the stats and the type of horses he was throwing, or did you have a soft spot for him?
I just like Tiz Now when he's a racehorse. I just thought he's phenomenal, and I just to win the Breeders' Cup twice. I believe is that correct?
Yes, the only horse to do that.
Yeah, the only horse to ever do that. I just think that's. Just tells you what kind of. It's so hard to win one of these things,
yeah.
And to think that a horse can do it back, twice. It's just tells you the toughness of him, and it's just a phenomenal. I just like the pedigree of Tiz Now, and the distance that he runs, and I think he's a great sire, and we're excited because we're a son of Tiz, honestly, and everything states that he should get better as he gets older, and that's real exciting for us.
Definitely. What's kind of fun too, going back to the fact that your first grade 1 winner being Brody's Cause. Brody's Cause was by Giants Causeway, who Tiz Now beat in the 2000 Breeders' Cup Classic. So it's kind of fun that
I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying?
And, Not This Time is by Giants Causeway too.
Yeah. There you go. It's kind of fun that you've got the horse that beat both, and both of them showed up for you on the day of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, both running in the money. So
those are two of my favorite sires too.
Yeah.
I love.
No, it's sad that we lost Giants Causeway. So
yeah, it sure was.
That was devastating. But I actually, I too also have a soft spot for Tiz now. We went and saw him earlier this spring at the farm, and he's still.
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh gosh, the presence he still has.
Isn't he amazing looking? Yeah, when I went to Windsor the first time I saw him, I'm like, holy cow!
I know the body.
He still like he could run.
Yeah.
He was 17 at the time, I think, when I saw him. It was like unbelievable.
It really is. I mean, I urge any of you who are watching, if you can go out for a farm tour to WinStar, go do it. Go meet Tiz now. I mean, this is the one sport where you really can go ahead and kind of arrange to meet the actual stars. So do it. I mean, you can go to horse country. They have all the tours you can set up there and check out these amazing athletes. But I love that you're a fan of him to the point that, you buy in the progeny, for a substantial amount of money, but you're here and the effort to find the right horse has paid off for you. I mean, already this has been an amazing trip, irrespective of what happens.
Yes, it's just been a great run. And I have to think that we named this horse after my father-in-law.
Yes.
He's just having the ball with
Did he know?
And our family and what's that?
Did he know that you were going to name him after him?
No, he had no idea. He had no idea.
How did you reveal it?
We just had a meeting, and I went through all of our names. He goes, Dennis. I go, yeah, we're named one Dennis. And he's like, well, I hope it's fast. I said, well, we do too. And I already knew that it was going to be something special. But no, never did I dream that we'd be a possible favorite for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. So it's been a lot of fun for him. I'm so happy, and I know he hasn't slept since the Iroquois, just thinking about this time. And it is nerve-wracking, like you said, when you're. But these animals are so precious, and you just worry about them night and day. And I'm so glad that Dale and his staff have done a tremendous job of getting this horse to Santa Anita, and he's happy and he's healthy, and we got no excuses going into the race. We're excited for the opportunity, and we know it's going to be a big challenge, but that's why we're in the game. It's going to be fun. How
did you get into horse racing in the first place?
We live by a smaller track in Iowa here called Prairie Meadows.
Yes.
And so as a kid growing up, I used to go to Prairie Meadows with some family friends, and grew up riding horses as a kid, and got involved in an Iowa bred 15 years ago, and we loved it. But we only have one horse you run like once a month, and we're like, man, we got to get some more horses and get involved in it. And now we got like 60, so it's we're really taking the next step. And Dennis wanted to have some more activity, and we got races all the time now, so it's great. We have a lot of fun with it.
Now, I'm sure you can't say anything, even if this were the case, but I have to imagine you've at least gotten some phone calls about this horse.
Yes, we have. It's been fun. That's another part of the game that's really fun, is negotiating with these things.
Do you enjoy it?
I do really enjoy it. It's kind of a game for me, because I know they play the game and we play the game, and so it's been fun with it. But there's an announcement coming probably next week. We have finalized the deal, and we'll probably announce it next week before the Breeders' Cup.
I thought about that just because I saw today that Coolmore's obtained the rights to 8 rings.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, that's kind of when that went down. The stud farms, they started calling and trying to make deals. So that kind of got things in motion a couple weeks ago, and I'm really happy, and we got a great partner. Awesome.
Well, I do know that. Oh my gosh! I just totally brain farted. I was about to say. So 8 Rings got the deal with Coolmore. Oh, I was going to say, I do know that you are have not this time was a homebred, so you have mares. So I hope whatever deal you've penned out, you're retaining some of the breeding rights.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We have 3 stallions now that we try to support as much as we can. We got this time Free Drop Billy and Brody's Cause.
Yes.
So we try to get some mares to all of them, and it's been a lot of fun. I just can't wait till next year when I see Brody's Causes, and not this time's in the racing format. We got horses running every day, and I can go support. So it's gonna be great.
How cool is that? I love it. And again, I love the enthusiasm that you show. I feel like you're a fan of your own horse.
Oh, just love it. Just love the guy. I heard Bob Baffert a couple weeks ago saying, "Look, once this gets in your blood, you just can't get it out."
No.
And I told Bob, I got a couple horses with Bob, and in fact, we got a 2-year-old run tomorrow that we're real excited about, first time starter, but with Bob. So I talked to Bob periodically, and he was so right when he said that. I mean, this game is so addicting.
Yes.
It's just so challenging and exciting, highs and lows. I just love this game, and it's just there's so many highs and lows, but when you're on top, there's nothing better. I can tell you that.
No, I'm sure, and that's the other thing. I mean, you've got horse with Bob. I mean, is there fun smack talk, or is it just all encouragement?
Yeah. There's been a lot of smack talk. He thought the race was Thursday. This is a funny story. He thought the race was Thursday Breeders' Cup the day before our race, and he said let's run that day. And I said, because we'll be there. And I said, yeah, that's great. That'd be fun. He goes, I want to make sure if you guys are coming all the way to California, you get your picture taken at least once.
Oh, Bob,
said,
smack
okay,
talk.
Game on.
That is game on. That is game on. That's so much fun.
We've had a lot of fun, and he's been really, really supportive of us. He's called me, in fact, and said that your horse looks phenomenal on the racetrack. So he's a sportsman. He's honestly one of the best trainers of all time.
Yes.
Tremendous amount of respect. When he calls and tells you that means a lot to us.
Wow.
And he's a fan of the game too, not only a trainer. So it's great sportsmanship, and if we can't win, we hope he does. So, and I think it'd go vice versa. So,
have you already? If you do win, do you already have an idea of how you'll celebrate afterward?
Do we have a plan?
Yes.
No, but if you got an idea, let me know. We'll be ready to celebrate.
Oh, can I come along?
Yeah, absolutely. I know.
Awesome.
We always talk about Dale. If we ever win a Kentucky Derby, he said it's going to be one of the biggest parties in the state of Kentucky's ever had.
That's awesome. Well, don't forget, we do have Disneyland in California. So,
I know.
After Breeders' Cup Saturday, we can all hoof it down to the.
That'd be great. I tell you, we're real excited to get out there. I know that the weather looks tremendous.
Yes.
How can't be 75, 80 degrees.
Yeah.
Horses are going to be running. It's going to just be beautiful. I can't wait.
Well, Tammy was talking. I watched an interview she did with Gabby today, and she was talking about how Dennis, he loves looking at the San Gabriel Mountains.
Yeah. He's such a smart horse. I think he's just taking it all in.
Well, she also she also said how kind he is. He's got a great temperament.
That's amazing. He's just a cool dude. I mean, you go in the stall and you can just pet him, and he doesn't. I've been on some of our horses. You go in there and they try to bite your shoulder off. And, he's been so cool and so friendly, and he's all class.
Does he prefer peppermints or carrots?
Peppermints.
Peppermints. All right, he's got a sugar tooth. I love it. Well,
you like everything though.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, these horses. I mean, Zenyatta was drinking Guinness, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Although I joked around because I did an interview with David and Gordo,
I watched you.
Thank you. Yeah, David, I talked.
You were up early.
Oh my gosh, that was so early for me. It's so early for me because with having a 16-month-old, I get no sleep. So,
I know about that.
Well, there you go. So I had to get up early. She wouldn't wake up that morning. We had to really get her to go. But we got out there, and it was great. Being at the sales. I was talking to David, and I asked him, does Zenyatta still have a Guinness every now and then? And I love the return joke was, nah, she's pregnant right now. She can't. But I mean, that's another horse, another big, large, literally large horse who just could, I don't know, there's just something about the horses who are endowed with a supreme talent that it doesn't matter their size, they can still float. It's kind of like Muhammad Ali, right?
Exactly. Absolutely.
But
you guys, I've really enjoyed your shows on Future Star Friday, and it's been great for the sport. Anytime we can talk horses and get more people involved, and I think it's just great. Oh
gosh, Jason, thank you so much. I really, truly appreciate that. I take it seriously, and I love that. I love to share my love of racing, and I love to find people and discuss with people who feel the same way I do. So the fact that you were willing to, give me some of your time today, that means a lot. And I love talking horses, and anything we can do to support our game and get more awareness for it, it's great. Amen.
Like I said, we can't wait till to get out there, and hopefully we meet up in the winner's circle. Oh, for sure. Well, I'll hunt you down before then too, I'm sure. Absolutely. Oh gosh. Tell Matt hi. And, I will. Anything we can do. I appreciate all you guys do for the sport. Oh, well, we appreciate you. Owners like you make us all feel like we're along for the ride. So thank you. And we wish you the best of luck in the TVG Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Can't wait. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next week.
See you then. This has been your Future Stars Friday forecast. I want to thank Jason Loutsch again for his time today. We're gearing up. We're just a week away. Get your homework done. Read your PPs. I'm going to be heading up to Santa Anita next week and hopefully bringing you more interviews and insight from the connections of the horses who will be featured on the Future Stars Friday card. Until then, enjoy your weekend.